How we doing?
Ew.
I believe this is our first episode, and King has the introduction rights. Here you go.
Absolutely. What is going on, everybody? As you all know, my name is XingKazma, and today I am going to be hosting with the amazing Anamana himself. Is it this way or is it this way?
The other way.
It's this way. With the amazing Anamana himself. Today we're just going to be talking a little bit and introducing our new podcast known as Oracle Fleet, which is going to be a PSO2 podcast for the community and just kind of helping getting information out there through the creators.
Sounds good. It's actually going to be really cool to, I guess the mindset, but it's kind of an unspoken mindset that this is basically a community podcast, right? This is like a means for us to, like you're saying, say everything that's going on, any news. And because it's on a Friday, it means that there's usually a few days before we can stew on what's been released. But also we'll be able to, get some community members on here as well. People that are streaming, making content, art, and all that. So I think it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. So for right now, for those of you who don't know anything about me and Anamana, we're going to start off by doing just a little bit of an introduction about, who we are, how we came up on streaming, and how we found our way to PSO2. Anamana, if you wouldn't mind starting off.
Yeah, no worries. So I'm Anamana. I have been making content probably since 2006, but I've had a lot of in between trying to find what I want to do. I started out on YouTube just doing I had a really bad gaming review show that I ended up canning pretty quickly, and then skip forward to just trying live streaming and not getting it right, and then trying content and not getting it right. Eventually in 2017 I started making content for Final Fantasy 15 and also some other games like Xenoblade 2, Romancing Saga 2 as well, but eventually I did Destiny, and then I settled on PSO2 because Destiny was in a place where I wasn't really happy with it, and PSO, I've always played Phantasy Star games, like the online games, so it was the perfect time to get started making content for it, and yeah, everything is history from there. So what about you as well?
Well, one, that was an amazing backstory. Anime as heck. But I started off streaming not even knowing anything about Twitch. I started off streaming playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse for the first time. I think it was a week before it released. And that kind of kicked it all off with just how everything was about Twitch, even back then. Just wholesome people, great community, just talking to people and talking about games that you like. So since then I've been a huge anime gamer, so I was advocate, I was everything. Oh dude, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Tsubasa, or anything that's anime, I was just on it. And I always had a huge love for JRPGs. It was never something that I necessarily played on my channel, but it was something that I always talked about. Something I grew up with. So coming into PSO2, I'm actually a JP vet. I've been playing PSO2 for a few years now, but NA is where I'm kind of taking my step into the content creation of it all, mainly because of the fact that one, I wasn't expecting this, but the community just started blowing up out of nowhere. And two, it's just kind of where I found myself as a content creator, where somewhere I can thrive and meet new people and whatnot. So altogether, I've been streaming for 6 years and streaming for 2 years, officially 2 years.
That's pretty good. In regards to JP as well, I'm not a vet. I wouldn't call myself a veteran because obviously it's about knowledge and about time played and stuff like that. But I've touched Japan servers at least since launch, when it first came out. So I've had some experience with the Matterboard and all the weird systems they used to have, the old UI. PSO2 dabbler. Basically, I've come back for a few weeks here and there, and then I've just started a new character every single time, so I never got the ability to, make a full character until NA. I was like, all right, no, limiter's off, getting out of the Goku chamber and just actually getting started playing this. And in regards to anime of me, I started out as I was an anime kid back in the mid 90s when anime was really just hitting the Western audiences, but I feel as I've got older, I've just it's been a thing I haven't hated or anything like that, but it's just something that I feel I'm more attuned to reality TV and Western TV shows these days.
Fair enough.
So I'll let we're gonna go like I was gonna say I'll let you do the honors, but we're already talking
Oh,
anyway. So I was gonna say we're gonna do a global servers recap just for anyone that might be tuning in the future, like a time capsule. Do you want to start with where it started on NA?
oh, so back in February, oh man, I remember the hype for this in January was unreal. And so when the lobbies finally opened up for that small weekend on February, excuse me, the closed betas were packed. Oh my god, the servers were lagging. It was just so many people on one block. I think we only had we only had two ships at the time, Anamana. I don't know if you were there for the closed beta. I'm pretty sure you were.
Yeah.
But
Basically, what happened was like they had ship one open. We thought they were all going to open, but they had ship one open, and that filled up instantly. I was trying to get in. I was watching Cammy Cakes stream at the time because coming from Destiny, Cammy Cakes plays Destiny. Yeah, they I think they treated it like an overflow for ship two. Eventually, I don't know if ship three did ship three open in the beta.
Ship 3, if I'm not mistaken, didn't open until the full game came out for Xbox. Yeah. So that was sometime in May. But ship 1, I remember ship 1 was still packed. Yeah, you were right that they had to open up ship 2. And actually when it came back the following weekend, I think ship 2 was down for about a couple of hours on the extra extended day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I remember we were talking about this beforehand, but like I remember being kind of upset because I actually had this plan. I worked it all out. I was like, I'm going to do all this. I'm going to get to 75 on Braver as fast as possible. And my job calls me and they're like, hey, we need you to come in and work. And so I ended up at work for like 6 hours and I didn't get to hit 75. And I was so upset when I finally came back and he said, hey, well, we're going to open up the game for a couple more hours tomorrow if you guys want to play. And I'm like, but I worked in too.
Can't win. I remember I definitely remember it being a weekend and they it was down for a little bit of time and they opened it up a bit more. I only got to level 20. Like I was like absolute beginner starting out, trying to make sure that I was actually taking notes the whole time because I made a guide once the servers went down. I was getting all the footage and stuff, but I think so. Like the dates I've got here, February it was a weekend for closed beta. Open beta was in March, but I think in May or April they silently said that the game was in full version at that point, right?
Oh yeah. They were preaching it. It pretty much was though. I think the only thing that wasn't really there was the resolution for a good while. And I think that finally got fixed up a little bit late into Windows 10's launch. No, actually no, that came with the PC announcement. Yeah, when PC arrived, that's when everything started changing. The resolution kind of built up and we got more ships. And then remember when they gave us like 130 ships and it just cut them all?
Yeah. With Windows 10? Holy crap.
Yeah. There was a lot going on with that, but I mean honestly I do gotta say for like its ups and downs on the Windows 10 launch, it was more successful than we talk about.
Yeah, like I feel like there is the elephant in the room. There was problems. People had PC issues and stuff like that. No denying that. I feel like I don't know how many people that did stop playing because they had PC issues. I don't know how many of those players would have honestly kept playing if they, like if it was like if you were really wanting to play PSO2, you would have gone through the effort of getting to play it. Sure, there's some people that like just don't want to go through any of that hassle and still want to play it. But I feel like the people that were just there to test it out and have a look and weren't too sure if it was for them, it was more of those people that might have dropped it if the Windows version did have issues. I don't know. How do you feel? Do you think that sounds about right?
I think so. I think one of the other issues was just kind of mainly just being the fact that the game wasn't fully there for most people. With the fact that it came out in episode 1 and people already knew what to expect on some cases, like from a standpoint as far as like creators go, and to some level creators do bring a good bit of eyes to the title. On that side, it was more like, I can wait for episode 6. As you see, we have a new influx of players, trying to come back for episode 6 and streamers as well. They're like, I can just wait and just leave later. Or some of them just didn't want to deal with the hassle of going through all of the workarounds for Microsoft Store, so that game wouldn't eat itself in the middle of the night. But I mean, it still held strong. it held surprisingly strong, because normally we've seen it with games back in the day, especially such as Battleborn and whatnot. I'm just going to use that as an example. If you remember the whole Battleborn fiasco, launch days like that normally don't last throughout histories of gaming. So the fact that PSO held so strong, it speaks a lot.
Yeah, I think so too. And also, the other side of it is like we've had lull periods, obviously, because technically the way it is that we're experiencing the whole history of PSO2 in the course of like 6 or 7 months. So there's points of time where people get up to the content, and because we're moving so fast, they're getting like a lot of equipment and gear and stuff that is kind of like overpowered for some of the content they're putting out, because also we're on this episode 6 patch as well. So there's that side of it as well, where there's lots of peaks and valleys, but I feel like because of the speed of which everything's going through, it's given a lot of people the understanding where they can kind of grow with the game as it launches and as everything releases, but they don't have that thing where, because I thought when we first got PSO2 it was just going to jump straight into episode 6 after the beta, but it didn't. And I feel like that it's a better time for having a majority of the player base slowly learn as the stuff rolls out. So when we do get to episode 6, everyone's going to have at least a basic understanding of everything.
Oh yeah, because even through the times, and I've been keeping tabs on like streams and YouTube and Facebook and all the comments. Like over times, I'm seeing that it's actually proving itself to be more beneficial. Like the ones who already know what to do pretty much are JP players who kind of made their way into NA, but then you have the NA players who are either just getting started for the first time. You have the ones who have played a little bit of JP, but not too much. They're dabblers. And then you have just like the normal community, just like brand new people. And those are the ones who kind of missed out on 8 years of great content, and it may not be exactly what they were looking for, but it's the experience of what we've had to go through for 8 years that, just kind of hits different.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I feel like there's a lot of people like me that that did want to play PSO2, but there was there's probably like a lot of different factors, like the awkwardness of feeling like PSO2 may eventually come to the West, or feeling kind of guilty that you're kind of sneaking in the back door to play the Japanese version when it's not made for you, kind of thing. Like, there's all those awkwardness, and there's some people, like a lot of people in chat, some names in there I recognize that have been playing JP for a while as well. And there's a lot of different, a lot of people with different backgrounds with the history of PSO2, I guess is a way to say it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We eventually got in episode 4. That was in August, which brought the Steam version. I think with that as well, when early on they were saying that they were hoping that PSO2 would come to more platforms, I have a hunch that maybe Steam was the main thing they were talking about in regards to that.
Yeah, because they had that little trailer video, and it had everyone really thinking that available on more or multiple platforms coming soon. And we're just like, PS4 release,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't come.
Yep.
But episode 4 releasing was definitely a great opportunity. One, mainly because of three reasons. Steam.
Yep.
Just great. Everyone's going to hop on Steam, see PSO is available, and automatically take that idea of this is still in JP, this isn't real, to this is out in NA, let me download this right now, and it's free.
Yeah.
Like, you can't argue with free. 2, the collaboration event definitely brought people who were fans of things like Portal and Half-Life over as well, just to check out the game and see, what could it offer. And 3, honestly, just better game server bases. Of course, the servers got less laggy. They cleaned it up. The graphics looked amazing. Even the little touch up that they did on the quality, out of this world. So Steam definitely brought a lot of good things to the table. Yeah.
They also had like the Half-Life 2 collab stuff as well, which is really cool. I don't know if that stuff's coming to Japan. They've slowly been revealing that stuff, like the stuff that we've had, like they've had Independence Day going at the moment with the Thanksgiving stuff. So I assume it may eventually be a thing over in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I think they added the 4th of July, which I think the 4th of July was the first NA only event that went on. Yeah, I think that was NA only, and then they
Yep.
finally brought some things over to JP. I don't remember there ever being a 4th of July event in JP.
Did we have that? Was basically tied in with the Gone with the Wind and Rain stuff, wasn't it? Or the no, that was Tokyo, not Las Vegas VR. Was there a special rappy with that?
Oh no, there was not. There was not a 4th of July rappy.
Interesting.
I would love to have a rappy and a little Uncle Sam hat just kind of running around. That'd be great.
Beard rappy.
And then with that, what came all the hardships, all the updates, and honestly, episode 4 is where everything kind of shifted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's when PSO really started establishing itself with Six Shop coming up, and just kind of taking on that new play style of, instead of dropping your weapons and dropping everything, you're now grinding for it. You're now doing more building and crafting, which I think a lot of players tend to invest more in, because at the end of the day, getting those Revolsios, it took a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, and then episode 5, it's going in a good direction in my opinion. Yeah.
And speaking of episode 5, that just came in October recently, so I believe it was technically September 30, but I've got it as written in our show notes as October. So technically we're coming up to like 2.5 months of episode 5.
Oh yeah. And episode 5 was where everything started to take off, like the harder boss battles. And it was one of those things where when I'm looking, I'm seeing, everyone's asking for harder boss battles. And that's exactly what we got, in episode 5, proving it through Crimson Fellworm, the guides going out for that, and all the people trying to figure out how do we beat this dragon.
Yep.
Now we're looking at Persona, fast forward to now, we're fighting Persona, and Persona is just, the first time around, it seemed easy, but it took a very long time to beat him. And now I'm seeing like how players progress after fighting him for so long and so many times. Everyone's just kind of getting better and better at dealing with him. But that and Masquerade,
Yeah.
it's kind of bringing in that harder content that people were really looking for to kind of push their playstyle a little bit and learn their classes. And I think that's really cool, especially for the more hardcore players. It kind of gives it to both ends, your casual, your hardcore, and allows everyone to kind of have their own sort of fun. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And like we had another big issue going back to, I guess, the Xbox days, which was Luther Super Hard being tuned to extremely hard health.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, that took forever. I remember there was a time where during that issue, we ended up doing, it was like our second Luther run, and I was playing my Gunblade fighter, of course.
Yep.
And I was playing Gunblade. No, I was playing Bouncer at that time. That was when I was maining Bouncer. And we went in, and there were me, and I think like 2 other classes, and then there were 9 Bravers.
With all auto chats like Gomenasai.
We ended up failing that one because it took so long to beat him. And the thing that I was just like, I was so tired at the end of that. I actually stopped streaming afterwards because I was tired. I was like, dude, that actually took the most out of me. And it was 9 Bravers, and they were just dedicated to the floor. So it's like we couldn't hit his head. We could barely get the arms. It's like, oh, this is so stressful.
I remember the first time I ran it, it went pretty much a minute up to the timer. And I was like, wait, why is this so hard? And then I ended up looking into some, because I had to make a guide for it. I ended up looking into some of the strategies and stuff. And yeah, it just seemed like people were just scattered with fighting all different targets instead of just focusing on single targets and stuff like that.
Now, good thing is we had at least one gunner on our side, so he was able to handle the aerial stuff, but he was at it alone. He was on the head, I was on the chest, and then we had everyone else just katana blading the arm, and that was the life. But Luther is still one of my favorite boss battles, just because When I first experienced him in JP, we actually called him Time Jesus because of his time stop. And he was extremely hard when we fought him because I didn't really understand. Actually, I played PSO. Most of my time on PSO2 JP was spent playing it all Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
So I was using nothing but forums to kind of get the gist of everything. So I was extremely weak. I didn't know how weak I was. And me and my friend, we were going through this for the first time, and he kicked our butts. We did it with only 2 of us, and I'm never doing it again.
So we've got also, I'm going to change scene here. We have a scene change. We're going to start moving into news. I feel like that's pretty much everything in regards to the history. I mean, there's been things like the mindset that we were going to get some of the Zig stuff, but but that's all good. So I feel like I know that MiniKitty does the Sonic stuff for Twitter and social media. And this is the next Arcs Hour. It's going to be on the 8th of December, 2 p.m. I believe that's the standard time it normally is. But this is the same day that we have episode 6 coming out. I feel like you've got a more broader understanding of MiniKitty's work because I basically got introduced to MiniKitty once they actually post this announcement. Do you want to let us know what they do?
So, MiniKitty, you're great. So let me start with that real quick. She is the social media and influencer manager for the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter page. She is also herself a Twitch broadcaster, if you don't know. And she is also a fan of PSO2. If you did not know, she was in the last Arcs Hour, hiding out in chat for a little bit, just kind of getting into the community. If you actually ever check out her Twitter page, she has a lot of little memes for Sonic. One of my favorite ones was this. It was this little puppy. And this puppy was dressed in a Shadow the Hedgehog onesie, and he's like running through the woods collecting rings and taking out Eggman robots and getting the Chaos Emerald running off. It's like, this is great.
I think I saw that, yeah.
But it's just a lot of like wholesome, Sonic history vibes. And I mean, as a longtime Sonic the Hedgehog fan, I just love, being able to log in and look at that kind of stuff. But the community she holds is really great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure as well, like, Ruby Eclipse or Aaron, who used to handle the Sonic social media, MiniKitty's basically who he passed the baton across to, right?
I believe so, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
Not 100%.
So, I mean, if she's got Ruby Eclipse's seal of approval, I think that's like a pretty high honor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like video game Elon Musk right there.
So that's Arcs Hour coming by. We just thought we'd give that a little bit of a shout out. And next up, we've got here, I'm just moving this over so that I can have a look as well. We've got a whole bunch of articles that have just gone up live with this. So we'll start from the bottom with this Tails collaboration that's taking place. So this just got announced today. This is going to be on December 8th. It's going to be available probably through all platforms that you can buy any of this stuff on. But just to note that this is actually in US dollars. So it's $34.99. That's probably about $45, $50 for me. But these are the items that come with it, if anyone wanted to check out. Did you want to run over that, King? Like, being more of a Sonic person, I'll give you the honors.
I'm currently trying to load this screen up, and my computer is telling me that it is too lazy.
All right, I'll get you started. You take over halfway. So we got the Tails male suit. You got it?
Yeah, we got it.
All right, so we've got Tails male suit and female suits. So while you're talking through this, I'll pop that up.
Okay. So as Anamana said, yes, we have the Tails female and male suit. I do really love these, mainly because the Sonic suits that we had before. It kind of looks a little bit the same, but it has that more sleeker look than what we have from the Sonic outfit. That's just kind of like a lot of clustered together, in my opinion. So I would definitely wear these. On top of that, we are looking at the Tails hair helmet, where you can get Tails' little alfalfa that comes out of his forehead in the shape of a helmet. I want to kind of use this because I have an idea of like a Super Sentai look that I want to go for. And then we also have a Tails hairstyle, which is a nice little look on, or a nice little take on a bed hairstyle swayed off. Yeah. And also we have the Tails mask. I'm pretty sure we got the Tails mask with the Sonic collab, but
it looks like it's the B mask, I think. Maybe the other one's like the A mask. It could be an alternating side.
well, you can never have too many masks. And if that wasn't enough for you guys, we have 2 weapon camos that are coming up as well. One being the Sonic Ring, which is a literal Sonic Ring that you get to use as a wire lance, knuckles, tailies, and jet boots as well. I don't know how this is going to work with jet boots, but I'm excited to see. I'm hoping at least with the knuckles, it kind of acts as Shadow's inhibitor rings that are on his wrist. If you guys know what I'm talking about,
Oh yeah.
if you know, you know.
I hope they make the ring sound as well as you hit enemies.
Oh my god, that'd be great. And then as we scroll down, you see that we also have the Tails wrench, excuse me. The Tails wrench can be used as a sword, partisan, twin dagger, dual saber, or double saber, excuse me, katana, soaring blades, rod, wand, and harmonizer, not gunblade.
Damn.
So if you are looking to, especially for a lot of cast characters out there, and I know Anamana is the type to use a crowbar, you have yourself another, tool-like thing to use for your character.
Absolutely.
And lastly, coming out with this is going to be the Tails emote, where I believe this is a whole emote where you get to actually collect the rings. I'm not entirely sure about this. I would have to see.
I wonder if that's the case, if other players can grab them too.
Oh my god, please! that would be great, especially if they heal. Oh my god, that'd be great too. It's like 30 HP for each one that you get. All right, and on top of that, for those going down and getting the purchase, so this is going to be a purchasable collaboration outfit, so it's going to be $34.99 USD via Steam, or Microsoft Store, or however you can get your AC. Through the purchase, you will also receive Raggle Memory 3, and you will receive 3 Skill Tree Edition passes. You will also receive 1 30-day premium set, 1 Mission Pass Gold ticket, a Salon Pass, Augmentation Transfer Passes. You will receive 30 of those, 15 EXP 150% badges. Tickets. You will also receive 10 Tri Boosters 125%. And you will also receive 100 Lambda Grinders, which I know if you guys have been enhancing all this week, you're going to need those Lambda Grinders.
So the Tri Boost has got me thinking, because I'm leveling up characters. Maybe I'll stack some of this stuff. Also, just to note as well, Ragdoll Memory and Skill Tree is 5 of those ones.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I can sometimes fonts are really funky on websites. But the Lambda Grinders are definitely going to be useful. I don't mind the pack. It makes me wonder, in the future, are we going to get like a Knuckles New Genesis pack? Or, I don't know. I don't know what else you'd expect. The emote's currently on the Visiphone. Oh.
Is it?
Interesting. So that's that was the Tails collaboration pack. But I have to check and see if it is up. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna skip instead of the mission pass. I think I'm gonna skip to the episode 6 rewards because it's kind of the same thing, right? This is for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate people. This is a picture of some of the gear that you'll be getting. Very Emperor Rappy themed. And also, this is just a heads up. This is going to go live 2 days later. This won't be available straight up, and it's only once per account. So what you're going to be getting with this is, we've seen there's going to be base wears male and female for Emperor Rappy t-shirts. There's also going to be the ski emote, which you can see here. So that's going to be interesting to see if that works like the surfboard one. Also the onion hair, as you can see. Very, is it Tingle from Zelda? I don't know. You also got the it's so weird. Oh, Onion Knight, I guess, from Final Fantasy. There's also the Emperor Rappy chain. And then also you're getting 3 Tokyo bonus key golds, a Malevolent Void trigger, and also 5 100% Tri Boosts.
Oh, so we're going to be seeing a lot of Malevolent Void runs. That's good. That's good. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm definitely up for that. Especially because one of the things is I've been noticing more and more ships are doing Malevolent triggers. So originally it was actually ship 20 or block 22 and block 7.
Yep.
And now I'm seeing that like more and more people are just running triggers together. And it just makes me happy. It warms my heart that people are working together.
I feel like a lot of people were like kind of stressing that they weren't going to get enough void fragments.
Oh yeah. Pretty much the Call of the Void triggers, they offer a lot more, but it takes a lot more work. Right?
Oh,
and next up,
yeah, I'll let you cover the next one. Mission Pass?
yes, sir. Next up, we have the Season 11 Mission Pass, which I know some of you are kind of happy if you've already used up some of your Airbyte fragments, because just to let you know, I'm going to just kind of skip all the way to the bottom here. And just kind of let you know immediately, right off the bat, if my thing wants to load up in time. PSO site hates me.
It's only for one tier, though. That's the only downside. I wonder if it's gonna be...
only for one tier.
Do you think it's going to be a 300 stack?
I would hope so. Or at least 60. 60 would definitely be of some good help. But only one can hope, and only time will tell. At the moment, though, it is great that you'll be able to still collect things like Void Airbyte fragments and, kind of get what you need. So if we come all the way back up to the top, I'm sorry to make you do this. As you know, Season 11 will take place on December 9th, and Revelant keys will be available for everyone who has the Mission Pass just by completing all tiers on the Mission Pass. Now, here's the thing about Revelant. Now, understandably, these things in JP were extremely hard to get, so it's great that they're offering everyone the accessibility to be able to get them now. Novel and Revelant weapons will become one of the most obtainable weapons in PSO2 at the moment, especially, and this is really great because these weapons are known as some of the best tier weapons to have on your side, and these get people through most of episode 6. Now, as we come down, we see that the Liberation weapons, which amazing weapon by the way, this weapon camo will now be available to all players, especially for you amazing people who are going to be playing Phantom coming soon. Even those who are going to be playing at 12 will be able to don this amazing weapon using the wand. Phantoms will be able to use this weapon camo on Katana, and then it will also be available for Partisans for those of you who are Hunter players. Reason why this weapon is so great is because it has a little dark aura that comes out of it, and a nice when you use it as the wand version, there's like this aura ball that kind of spews out the top and kind of turns it into a wand rather than a katana. It's great. Next up, we also do have the Christmas present furnishing, just in case you guys want to jolly up for the holidays in your personal quarters, and just make it look all fancy. And we do get a new emote called the Look That Way, like, hey, look behind you. I have not seen this emote myself, but I'm, context clues, right? Mm-hmm. As we go down, there are some nice accessories that are coming with this mission pass as well, that of some long scarves and checkered long scarves. The wallet chain is coming back, which is great. If you didn't get the wallet chain accessory before from the Fun Shop, I think it was, you're not going to be able to get it again. Some beautiful cast parts. A free lantern to have on your hand for those of you who want to don some amazing little outfits. I hope to see some creations with this. A nice Santa outfit for those of you who just want to get in the holiday spirit with a Santa beard as well. This is also a unisex thing, so beard up, ladies and cast. Some nice holiday stockings for you all as well, just to wear through. And also more cast parts. You get the sheriff body, so if you want to put on your best deputy's hat and go out there and be a RoboCop, you are able to do so. Now, as we go down, one of my favorite weapon camos as well is coming too, and it's a weapon camo for the Soaring Blades, especially for those who want to take on that feudal Japan tradition and you're wearing your Thunderstroke kabukis. It goes really well with it. Is the Sakuna Shinsen pair, which are a nice pair of fans that you can use, and they make really great for Soaring Blades, especially for those who are going to be playing at 12. You're going to look absolutely stylish. Gold Crescent, and Gold Crescent B head armor is going to be available as well, and we'll also be seeing Matoi head mounts and Luther head mounts.
They are returning, aren't they? They've previously existing in Mission Pass, I'm pretty sure.
I know the Luther one exists. I don't know about the Matoi.
Oh, actually, like a lot of this stuff, as we go down the list, is like reissues for PC players.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Oh yeah, especially for those who missed out on a couple of things. Like even if you scroll down, you see the pirate attire. That is actually Azanami's outfit, and that one's this one is a redo as well. And the Solaris weapon camo is another redo. So actually, what the thing about it is, the Liberation weapon camo that we got before, the Solaris and the it was that shining celestial sword that we had. Those were actually given all three at the same time at a point. And these were like the three of the best weapon camos that people were asking for the most. So it's great that they're kind of hearing that, and they're giving those weapon camos and NA so people can experience how amazing they are. Other than that, as we come down again, we have a Lady Santa outfit as well for you lovely ladies, and comes equipped with a joyous hood Santa hat. So basically everyone can get into the holiday spirit here today, with some nice pigtails. And lastly, we have the Pharaoh Neige. Yeah, that's how you say it. Words. The Pharaoh Neige and the Pharaoh Hood, which are a nice little, I guess especially for the holiday UQ, these are going to look really good for you all. And some more cast parts, because we cannot do without our cast parts. There's a lot of cast parts, by the way.
There's another there's a Soaring Blade camo there as well. The
oh yeah,
Bakepo Tito.
I don't even know what this is. It kind of looks like fruit with like honey on it. I don't know. Do you know what a Tito is?
Maybe it's like sweet potato. I don't know. I couldn't speak to it.
We're gonna have to look this up later. On top of that, so we're also getting a evolution device, which is the Shoopy, which is a little wrappy that's inside of a stocking, and it's adorable and cute, and you can have the nice candy cane that's on his back, so eat up. And last but not least, we have the Cherubina and the Furion leg, or the Furion set and the Cherubina set for the male and female cast parts. Honestly, I'm not really much of a cast character, but these look cool, especially with some recoloring. You'll be able to make the very fierce Gundam I know you want to be. And last but not least, if you can, I said that already, but last but not least, if you complete the mission pass, you will receive a Revelant key, so you can at least take home with you one Revelant weapon, just by getting all the materials that you need and getting a Novel weapon, which will be available in Rising Weapon Badge 5.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I'm going to jump over to the next one.
That was a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And I feel like it's really hard, like especially in podcast format, to go over every single thing, because it's just going to be like, oh, there's this leg, there's this arm, there's this body, So when we cover this stuff and AC stuff, we'll probably like kind of just go through the key point out ones. But we'll move on to the new campaigns coming in. I just quickly go over this. We've got Rising Skill Pass. No, Reset All Skill Pass. Reset all skill trees. This is like, it's such a tongue twister just saying that whole thing. Everyone, make sure you make a character before episode 6 drops, before maintenance, because you'll get for each of those characters a Reset All Skill Tree pass. So if you've got 3 characters, you'll get 3. If you've got 12, you get 12. If you've got 20, you'll get 20 passes. So, and that'll be on each character, so you need to go and claim them on each character, and you'll get that when you log in on episode 6, especially with all the new classes coming. Maybe you've spent your points incorrectly. We're getting up to 95 now, so you might want to distribute your points a little bit better. We've also got the party campaign to get the Emperor Rappy furnishing, as you can see here. So what this is going to do is, I just need to quickly read over this. So basically we're doing the party maneuvers 1 and 2 with EO, and once you get that, you'll get the Cuddly Emperor Rappy and a Tokyo Gold Key, probably for 1 of each. But they're also mentioning that there's going to be a special boost that's going to be happening. This is just, seems like, this is just the standard party boost. I guess they're just reminding people coming in with the 40% if you've got 4 people. Rare drop rate, Macedo, and experience. Just a heads up. And also, just to note that that stuff will be distributed instantly. Sometimes these get pushed back a little bit, and the Road to Episode 6 campaign, where we're retweeting and liking stuff on Facebook, that's going to be distributed later, like on the 22nd, so just a heads up. We've got, finally, there's going to be a Christmas event going on as soon as we log in, with the Christmas on Ice Trigger getting distributed when we also log in, which takes us across to the next thing, which is Christmas, which I'll let you... Wait, did they post about Christmas? I thought they posted about Christmas. Have they not posted that?
No, not yet.
Okay.
This was the only thing they put up, as far as I'm concerned.
I guess maybe being a Japanese veteran, you could probably speak to what we should expect with Christmas.
Honestly, You'd be surprised. I don't know what to expect from this one. I don't know if it's going to be the same quest around or if they may change something up. I will tell you one thing about Umbra is that if you see him, let him physically abuse you. Not even kidding. Like, let him hit you with that cane and he will give you some great rare drop boosts, especially for the quest. Who knows? We may see some Rising Weapon Badge 5s.
Yep.
Maybe not.
That'd be cool.
Maybe some triggers.
And then finally, we have maintenance taking place. It's going to be a 6-hour maintenance. Normal time. That's normal time it usually pops, I think.
Yeah, all, 6 hours of sad boy hours?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we can expect from episode 6 and everything that's just actually taken place. I'm going to switch away from the new stuff. We can probably take some audience questions. I don't know if you want to... I guess we got to wait for people to actually give some questions at this point. Is that all we had in the show notes today? We're kind of... This is like our first one, so we're feeling things out as we go. But if anyone does have any questions in regards to episode 6 coming, or about PSO in general, or maybe just about our history with PSO, let us know. What are you actually waiting for the most with episode 6, King?
Rainbow keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some juicy buggers. So rainbow keys basically give you a crap ton of EXP. On top of that, a couple million Meseta. And with that, it's really cool because now with that and level up quests, and that they're giving them up to us so early, we'll be able to focus on other classes.
Yep.
Get those leveled up, situated for the time being, and have more fun with the game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And recently there was like a delay in maintenance on Japanese servers, and you had like a 450% boost overlapping with PSO2 day, as far as I understand. And
yeah,
how many levels with the new level 100 cap did you go up using a rainbow key?
I used one rainbow key and shot up to 99.
Holy crap.
I don't know what happened. So there was a so altogether there was a 500 and something percent boost. It was like 550, 560 on top of a 200% EX trigger or EX booster that I had, and then a 150 try boost. No, I had a 200 try booster, a 300% rare drop rate booster, another 100% EXP. I just stacked at least like maybe 1,000% of EXP and just kind of went off with it. It was so great. But yeah, about 2 rainbow keys got me to 99. And then they were actually, for each class that you get to 99, they were offering 10 augmentation transfer passes. And for the 6 classes that you get to 100, you get 10 augmentation transfer pass. Or 100, no, was it 100? Was it 100?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you get 10 for every class you get there. And then for 6 classes that you get to 100, you get 100 augmentation transfer passes. So I haven't gotten there yet. I'm 3 out of 6 right now. But when I get there, I know exactly where those passes are going. 8 slot swaps all day.
That's pretty much like two weapons or 2 units being able to just instantly just swap everything over, right? That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I think in terms of episode 6, what I'm looking forward to the most is some of the urgent quests just have a really cool feel. Like, is it a Martyr of Demise? I don't know what it's going to be called here, but I think looks really cool. And I have played it on Japanese servers. Between the closed beta and open beta, I actually played Japan for a little bit. And as far as I remember, you can correct me, but Armada of Demise is basically you go from ship to ship, destroying all the Lumen mechs as a 12-player party kind of thing. And then once you've done that, you then go to an AIS Vegas thing. And I've played 2 of them. I don't know exactly how they work, but I remember one of them was like going through the big corridor, fighting like a ship at the end, like you were shooting all its weak points. It almost kind of reminded me of like Baron Blossom, but it was just like fixed in the tube. But there was also another one where it was in 3D space and you were like going around trying to shoot stuff. I can't remember is it a 3-part or is it a 2-part thing? Like, how does that work?
If I'm not mistaken, it's a 3-part. I didn't do this quest all too much, I'll admit. And yeah, I remember the 3rd part was being a So there's the first part with the ships, there's the second part with the boss battle, and then there's a third part where you're actually in a giant boss battle and you have version 3 AIS. These version 3 AIS come with a new ability known as a counter. So pretty much the point is to take all the attacks that are thrown your way, counter them, and then release the counter and send it right back to your opponent.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does a ton of damage. Like, you thought 999 was bad. Imagine like hitting that every second.
Well, the fact that it's 3 phases is a huge thing. We got Ghost in chat saying that it's like 3 phases each 10 minutes, or each one's 10 minutes. And I'm guessing you've got 10 minutes to run through that first multi-ship one, and then the other ones are probably going to take 10 minutes each, right? I don't know how it works.
Give or take. My only fear right now is with the way it goes. I'm really hoping that they unlock expert requirements with JP coming soon. Not saying that it's bad or anything, but with how long that quest is, players may get tired out. At the moment, especially from Persona, what I'm seeing a lot on a personal end, is that it may be kind of hard for some people to jump in. Mainly because people again are coming back as new. Some people are trying to play catch up, and immediately jumping into a UQ like that, it's going to be taxing. Yeah. There's a lot to it, especially when most people may be picking up new classes such as Phantom or Atoll.
Yeah, we were saying this in my Discord earlier today that I'm kind of... So they mentioned on Twitter, not on Twitter, on the forums a few days ago that basically everything they announced in the what's happening with episode 6 stuff is basically... I feel like we actually skipped over the what's the new in episode 6. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but we still got 7 minutes. You want to knock it out?
Well, I guess we could pop that up. Let me just open up this thing again. I completely forgot what I was saying. But yeah, there. They spoke on the forum. Basically, everything we can expect to see, I think it's on this page. Everything we can expect to see with episode 6 they've announced on this specific what's new in episode 6 page will be launching live. And we're talking about in Discord that maybe it's a good thing that they don't release Divide Quest day 1, because basically you don't want people face planting as soon as they jump in, right?
And then the level cap going up to 9 and 95, and I think also with the level cap going up to 95, players will also receive, if I'm not mistaken, 10 PP of an increase with that 95 level cap. So that's also really cool for people who are kind of stuck at 90 right now, like say moi, and are trying to reach that that 200 PP status of big boy hours.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, they are also going to be releasing Phantom and Atoll, which are 2 amazing Scion classes. Atoll being more of the frontliner support class. It's, from what I've read up recently, it's seen more as a class that you'd want to have in your arsenal on your team, because of its abilities. It allows to be a frontliner tank, and the Phantom or the Atoll time on it allows for a good support for characters in your area and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And Phantom is more of the crit attack style class, where it's more of a reactive play style versus what Hero is more of like a brute force thing. Phantom, you want to kind of just do what you do until you're able to initiate a counter and kind of keep that flow going, if that makes any sense. But we'll jump into those later. But as a summoner main, you want to take what's going on next?
Yeah, Herbie, which is an upgrade. I think it was called Glass on Japan. Basically, this is, as far as I understand, the upgraded version of Red Ram. So it's going to be a multi-target. Like, even if they are barely related, it's a multi-target one. And Vulcan is going to be a non-crit version of Synchro. So they've got their purposes, and you'd probably want to set them up certain ways to play them certain ways, but that's just the very basics of how they work from what I understand. So multi-target and a heavy damage, less crit Synchro. And then we've got new urgent quests. We talked about one just then. We've also got, I don't know if we really want to spoil it, but let's just use the acronym TPD is coming. Is there any other urgent quests that came with episode 6 other than Armada of Demise?
So, surprisingly, for as long as episode 6 was, there's only 3 main story urgent quests. But it was like a year and some months long, just filled with like special quests and special events and whatnot. So there is Armada of Demise, there is Morning of Demise, and then there is TPD. If I'm not mistaken, those are the initial 3.
Awesome. Well, also, it says down the list, we're going to have new recommended quests while we're speaking about quests. So these, as far as I understand, are pretty much the same as limited quests, but they maybe don't offer the same items or something like that. I'm not too sure. Is that how they work?
For the risk?
Recommended quest, fourth feature quest.
So every day there's going to be a fourth recommended quest that is going to appear in your recommended list, of course. And initially it will have the same features as the other recommended quests. So basically, once you finish it, you will get a box at the end. But the particular thing about these quests and why they're known as level up quests is because they have a natural 200% booster inside of them, and then there's going to be special quests as some that we call on JP known as World Engulfed in World Engulfed in Darkness, excuse me. And then there's also another one called Piper of Disharmony and Crimson Castle. Those quests are specifically there to just give you a jump in EXP. I'm talking you can go from level 1 to 75 in about 2 to 3 hours just by running it back to back. Yeah.
I remember when I played Japan recently in episode 6, Piper of Disharmony was also a limited quest at some point, right?
Oh yeah, Actually, they turned that limited quest into that, and it's honestly one of my favorites. I just like. It's not that it's like great. I love boss rushes.
Yeah,
it's always fun.
Over in chat has just said Glass not much of an upgrade. Its attacks charge faster at the cost of damage, and gives passives gives a little bit of extra damage and PP versus bosses. And then Tankro, Vulcan is tanky Tankro, but it loses 50% crit to compensate. But with the risk exploration, how do those work?
So risk explorations, if I'm remembering correctly, of course, and please someone correct me if I'm wrong. They are a set of quests, excuse me, that reset every 3 days. So and they have pretty much the same loop. So for the first 3 days, you will receive 3 different exploration areas. And as you go through those areas, they're basically free exploration. So you can walk through and you just fight enemies endlessly. You don't really have to do anything other than that for the drops. Now, the thing about these enemies is that sometimes these enemies are going to come out ultra hard. If you run them on ultra hard, those enemies do tend to have a lot of HP, so working as a team is going to be very good. Also, these quests will drop special weapons, the Ganon series, Resonant series, and also during these special quests, there are going to be, as you kind of run through them, there will be like these little events that come through every now and again, kind of like how we have the emergency quest. But they're more of like little fun events, like between this horde, who can kill the most out of the horde, who can deal the most damage to this boss, so on and so forth, just to kind of, I guess, give you something a little more fun to do. And every now and again, drop some really good items and good EXP as well. Wasn't bad. I actually used this quest to upgrade from level 95 or level 90 to 95 with Luster, so it's not bad.
Awesome. Ghost is saying those are free fields that rotate daily. So I'm guessing like so one day you have one until the third day, where once that one wraps up, it resets to a new set or something like that.
Yeah. So every 3 days it's going to reset.
Cool.
Now, as far as the drops go, there are some really good drops, really good augmented fixes that you can get out of here too. Although with NA being how NA is, I don't know what exactly they will add to the drop pool, so I don't want to say too much as far as how JP has done it. Just kind of the general basis of the quest.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like this stuff will get it for sure, but and while we might get 1-to-1 for specific loot, they may even add other different loot. Like they could end up adding just some, who knows, maybe they'll add old type weapons as new type weapons in there. Never know. But we've also got arm extension. Is that really used? Like, do people in Japan really use arm extension for crafting in the room?
I haven't, but it's not something that I necessarily hear most people talk about, so I don't want to say yes, but I don't also have the knowledge to say no. I just don't hear most people talking about it anymore.
I feel like it was something that was, I'm guessing, either an old type weapon thing or an old school thing that like people way back in like episode 4 might have used to upgrade things, but we're just getting it really late and it's funky. That's like, from what I understand, unit extensions have been dead since episode 4 on weapons, which is a niche thing. You can use a certain weapon. No one really extends their gear on JP. Thank you very much, Ghost and Inova. Is this the thing where basically you can take a weapon and go, this is an all-class weapon now? Like, is that a thing? I don't know. I remember someone saying that way back, because on Western servers we get a lot of people that are playing it with the way they played PSO1 in mind, so they're like, why can't I use this, why can't I use this double saber as a hunter, kind of stuff like that.
So the way I kind of read it, it just kind of seemed like an overglorified glamour system. So it's like, I have this 11-star weapon or this 12, 13-star weapon that I want to be as good as my 15 stars, but I don't have a 15-star, but I got to catch up to my friends. So it's like a way of just kind of giving you an extra boost on those weapons that you have, so that you can, at least hold your own to some degree. But as time just kind of went on, people, 13, 14s got easier to drop, 15-star weapons got easier to drop, and they just come like hotcakes now. So I don't really think anybody really uses them anymore. But even when in episode 4, I barely heard about them.
So it's more of a 13-star thing, what people are saying. We also get Ultra Hard, which we've kind of touched on. It's basically, I'm assuming that we probably will get extremely hard for all roaming areas or expedition areas, whatever you want to call them. And also Ultra Hard, where I remember early on with making content for PSO2, I decided to step into an Ultra Hard quest, being like, I'm just going to show how good I am. And then I ended up being there for like half an hour, killing like one mammoth. And it was like, all right, maybe I went in with the wrong mindset.
It's always great, man, because I remember when I came back into JP and my Phantom was severely underpowered. I didn't know how underpowered until like I started getting back into it. And I was like, oh wait, I need S-grade augments. I need this, I need that. And I remember I walked into a griffin, and I think it took me about an hour to kill that griffin.
Yeah.
I never got hit, but I was there for a while.
Yeah. Someone was saying in chat that some expeditions don't actually go past super hard, unfortunately. That's not good.
Yeah.
New Arcs missions, don't know what these are going to be. Probably just like do a divide quest or something like that, I would assume. We got Rise and Weapon Badge. We touched on that with Rise and Weapon Badge 5s being, it's going to be 14-star weapons like Eternal Psycho Drive and also Novel weapons. New enemy types, we talked about that. We got Ultra Enemies and Ultra Hard and Lumen Mech, which are going to be tied to Episode 6 contents. New seasonal event, we got Christmas coming. New mission pass, we talked about that. Titles is kind of a given. We've talked about recommended quests. Collection folders, we've haven't really talked about that. That's the Million series and also 14-star eggs, which include some shiny pet eggs as well. What are the I know that there's going to be some of those Million weapons. How would you say they rank up versus maybe 14-star weapons? Do you think it's an upgrade path?
It's about as good as some of the unique weapons that we did. Honestly, when it comes to collection photo weapons, I feel like they just kind of throw those in there to give us some free weapon fodder and or maybe some SAFs to use every now and again. I don't necessarily remember what SAF goes on those weapons, but I know for the time being, those will be really good, like just free fodder collection for the future. That's what that would basically end up turning into over time. But most people will just collect them and use them until they realize that they're not as great as what they can potentially have via Atlas EX or Atlas EX Trailblazer or Novel.
And the other good thing about the eggs is Rappy's actually in there, so no more waiting for PSO2 day or Deus triggers.
Yeah, I honestly think the eggs are probably the best thing about this whole thing. I think there's a shiny egg in that listing too, if I'm not mistaken.
There is a few, for sure.
So definitely for summoners, you're gonna have a good time.
We've talked about Etwal, Phantom, and AOS. We kind of touched on that, but it's a mech. New S-grade augment. Some of this stuff's just a given. New 15-star weapons. Along the history of it, we'll probably jump in and get straight away Liberate or Rivalate. That'll be the first one, and then. As people are saying in chat, we got Nova saying we've got Kraz still, and there's also, I believe, basically any of these weapon series are probably going to have a predecessor as well, like the air weapons. Is that an upgrade into something else?
You talking about the Kraz, the Pearson still?
Yeah, I remember seeing there's a weapon called like Ayer, like Ayer. Is that like a predecessor to an upgrade?
So if I'm not mistaken, that is the Crass weapons, right? I know it's Dark Banisher and Crass. And then before then there was Purus and Still. And then before then there was Liberate and no, it's Crass. Yeah, it's Crass. So Air Crass, yeah. So the Crass weapons are basically like the tippy top there at the end.
Okay.
Really good abilities. But then you also have basically from here on out for the next 3 parts of episode 6 that we'll have, each weapon series will have a upgradable version of itself. So you'll have to get that weapon, and then you'll have to get the materials to upgrade that weapon to a stronger version of itself, which is kind of like how we're about to do now with Novel Revelet.
Yep, absolutely. 13-star units as well was another thing, and 13-star units are coming to Zig with S-grade augments, or S-class. It's interesting they put an S-class augments on there when they're S-grade on NA. 6, 7, and 8.
They do come pretty useful though. Yeah, especially if you're having trouble just trying to get some extra attack, or I mean, again, just trying to get some extra PP. Right now in JP, they are available through some of the badge shops. You can go ahead and collect some PP ups, attack ups, and whatnot. You can even drop some from certain bosses, if I'm not mistaken. Nowadays, I know I dropped one yesterday. I had to add attack up 2 that I dropped from a boss the other day. So they do come in handy, especially for those extra fixes, because as you know, S-grade augments are 100% affixable, so you don't have to worry about, losing that affix later on. You can just have your S-grade augment and just kind of work it in there.
Yep. That's going to be cool.
Sorry,
8 slot. So there's like a lot of options coming, basically. Oh. Yeah. We did get one question in chat from Flareshot. Will accessory items in ticket form be carried over to New Genesis? So the ticket won't be usable when you're in New Genesis, as far as we understand. We're waiting on a lot of information and stuff like that. But basically, if considering that you log into your character, you can, I don't know if you'll be able to choose between New Genesis or PSO2. And if you're on PSO2, you can go to the blockchain to jump over to New Genesis with your character. But if you've got the items for, like, for example, like, I don't know, a base wear or an inner wear, you'd need to use that while you're in specifically PSO2. But if you put that on your character's model, you can then take that over to New Genesis. It's a really weird and funky system. Basically, you've got your one character between the both games, but if you're equipping any costume parts that are New Genesis ones, they only work with New Genesis costume parts. But if you have a PSO2 base one, you would have to use all costume parts that do work with PSO2. So you could have either of those and go into New Genesis or PSO2. So you could have a New Genesis looking character in PSO2, and you could have a PSO2 character in New Genesis. But that stuff will actually be usable across both. It's just the actual tickets themselves you'd have to use within PSO2. It's a funky system, but at least we can still use that stuff.
Right.
If there's any other questions, we're pretty much coming to the end of the show now. We're not too sure about how we're going to... This is like our first pilot to see how everything goes. We're not too sure about how we're going to handle things later, but we had an idea that we might end up playing with people afterwards, after we do a show. Or definitely, I think, if we're having guests on, we'll probably raid into them if they're going to be streaming. Or we'll probably find someone in the community to raid onto after a stream as well. But yeah, if there's any other questions in regards, we'll probably wrap up pretty soon. I appreciate the turnout. I haven't even seen the stats of like how many people we've had turn out for the first show, but what is it at the moment? It's not showing me. Oh wow, we've actually got 35 people watching. I appreciate it. That's a pretty good turnout. King, yeah, we were delayed a little bit. King had some loose ends to tie it up, so yeah. So that's if you're feeling like he's looking a little bit tired, it's just having to deal with people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
wonders for the skin. You know?
But yeah, we'll probably. I did have an issue where I accidentally put up. I believe we had advertised on Central Time, but I might have said PST, so a few people were confused with that. So I've gone through and I've updated all that, and also we'll probably be doing this at 8 p.m. I believe it's Central Time, as far as I understand. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
awesome. I always get
Basically,
like American time zones confuse the hell out of me being in Australia.
I'm
But
sorry. I know it's weird. It's definitely something weird to work with, but I'm glad we found a good time to work with all this. Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. I think we'll wrap it there. I appreciate everyone for turning out, and also special thanks to we had Arrow, Ghost, and also we had Shadowberry taking up mod duty. Spur of the moment. I appreciate that, and also very knowledgeable people in the community. Arrow does the Summoner's Guide. You may have seen that. Probably one of the best guides out there for summoner classes. We got Ghost, who has been playing JP for a long time and is very, very positive and helpful in regards to knowledge. And Shadowberry, who's also a good egg, plays on a PSO2 and also other games like Destiny as well. I appreciate all of them. And also we got Black in chat, who I also appreciate it. But anyway, we're going to wrap up there. I don't have time today, unfortunately, to play games. I got to go and spend time with my partner. But are you going to be playing games after King?
No, I actually have to go to work tomorrow, but I will be up tomorrow because I have a little challenge. I don't know if you saw, but I took 100 PD triggers.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That sounds like a predicament precarious. I don't know. I can't make a pun with PD.
It's going to be fun. Endurance challenge. Let's see if I can go through 100 triggers, all gun blade challenge. Which at this point is not really much of a challenge, but yeah.
I'm gonna actually. You can find below the stream. There's actually gonna be links, and you can see below me at the moment as well. If you want to go and follow King to go and check that out tomorrow. Otherwise, what's today? Today's for me is Saturday. I think I'm streaming tomorrow, so I'll probably be on doing something, probably preparation for episode 6. Nothing too hardcore. But yeah, that's it. You got any final words, King? No final words?
Go away, you.
Go away.
Go away. Go away, you.
All right, so we're gonna move over to the ending screen, and this will probably go up onto Anchor FM, and also we'll be splitting this out on YouTube and posting it as well. We're not too sure if we're gonna multi-stream this in future. We had a 24-hour cap on before we could get started with that, and this is like we've been putting this together over the last 3 or 4 days. So this is like, this all came together. I'm pretty proud of all the work we did to get this up. But yeah, next week, roughly the same time, maybe a little bit earlier. We'll see how things go. I will let you know if anything ever gets delayed. But you can always find it on podcast platforms. It'll end up getting distributed to Apple Music, to Spotify, and all those platforms, and also on YouTube. So I appreciate you all. Any last words, King, before I transition across? What's your words of wisdom?
May your guiding light shine. I've actually been stealing that for some of my videos from Kuna. It's a great outro. May your guiding light shine. It just go.
There you go. Away. May your guiding light shine. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.